For using the laws of exponents, there's no real easy way to do this other than using your star chart, using the rules that we see up there and paying attention to how they look. So I put a copy of what it looks like on your star chart, and make sure you reference that. The first one says the area of a rectangle is this many square yards. If the length is this many yards, which expression represents the width of the rectangle? So remember, the formula for the area of a rectangle is length times width. So if we want to find width by itself, we would divide by length. So the width will be the area, which is 54 x to the 9th, y to the 8th, divided by the length, 6x to the 3rd, y to the 4th. So this looks like a division problem, looks like a fraction. So let's find the rule that looks like that, which is right here, quotient of powers. So whenever you have a variable on top of another variable, you will combine them and then subtract their exponents. So the most important thing about this is that we separate out each item by itself. So the numbers would go by themselves. 54 divided by 6 is 9. X divided by x, we will subtract their exponents. 9 minus 3 is 6. Y divided by y is 8 minus 4, so that's 4. And then we have our solution, letter H. For the next one, it says the expression x to the 3rd times x to the negative 17th is equal to x to the n power. What is the value of n? So if we look at the rule that matches this, it would be the first rule, the product of powers, which says that whenever you multiply the same base by each other, you add their exponents. So if we go back to this problem, we will add these exponents together, which will give us x to the negative 14th, and the answer that you would bubble in on the answer document is just negative 14. This one actually combines a couple rules. So if we start out with parentheses, of course, PEMDAS still applies always. We will distribute this exponent to both inside and distribute the 1/2 here. This will give us 7 squared x, and then if we go look at our rule for the exponent outside the parentheses, that is the power of a power rule, which tells us to multiply those exponents together. So then I would do 3 times 2, and then I would have x in 8 times 1/2. From here we can simplify. 7 squared is 49. Remember, that's 7 times itself, not 7 times 2. X to the 6th power times x to the 4th power. Now we can combine these using the rule we used earlier, which is the product of powers, which tells us to add those exponents together. X to the 10th, giving us answer choice B. This one is similar to the first one that we did. We will separate out the letters and then the bases. 14 over 8 simplifies to 7 over 4 when I divide both numbers by 2. Whenever you're deciding which exponent to take, we're going to pick the larger one, 4. And when I do 4 minus negative 2, that actually gives me 6, a to the 6th power. If you're not sure, you can always plug that into the calculator. The next one is 6 minus 3, so that's b to the 3rd. And then the last one, this number is larger, negative 5, so I would do negative 5 minus negative 10, and I would bring that exponent down to the bottom with the larger one, so that's c to the 5th power, giving us answer choice H. Lastly, we have another formula. A circle has a radius of this amount. The area of a circle can be found using this formula. What is the area in square centimeters? Notice your answers are all left in pi, so you will not use 3.14. Area equals pi times our radius. Remember, we're going to replace r with this. 6x to the 9th, y to the 5th, and then we bring that squared back down here. Just like we did earlier, we'll distribute that squared to each base inside. So we have 6 squared x, and then remember, we're multiplying those exponents according to the product of powers, or the power of a power rule. And then we'll simplify. 36x to the 18th, y to the 10th. And we find our answer, letter B.